tree roots, low water pressure, leaky faucets. Sometimes LA plumbing feels like you're navigating a minefield. And with everyone using their homes and businesses, like for so many different things these days, who needs a plumbing disaster on top of everything else?
You're telling me. It's the demands on our plumbing systems are way higher than they used to be. And honestly, those pipes were not built for endless Zoom calls and doing laundry 24/7.
No kidding. And that brings us to today's deep dive.
Okay.
We are diving into the world of Rocket Plumbing LA, which is a company that's making some waves, or maybe I should say hydrojets, with their claim to be, get this, the rocket science of plumbing repair. But is it all hype? Or do they really deliver? What do you think?
Well, their website definitely does not lack for confidence. The technical edge on every plumbing repair, that's a bold statement.
It is. And speaking of bold, they even call out Roto-Rooter by name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say that their tech is light years ahead of anything invented since 1933.
Wow.
Okay, maybe that's a little aggressive, but it definitely got my attention.
Yeah, as did their focus on West LA and Santa Monica. It's a smart move.
Yeah.
Just considering the unique plumbing challenges in those areas. Older homes, finicky pipes, and of course the tree roots, just wreaking havoc underground.
Ugh, don't even get me started on the tree roots.
Yeah.
It's like they have a vendetta against everyone's plumbing.
Right. Which is where Rocket Plumbing claims their hydrojetting and Picote technology come in. They're presenting those as the ultimate weapons against LA's root inundation.
Okay, so we got hydrojetting and Picote technology, two terms that honestly sound like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie. So what are those exactly? Yeah. And are they really as groundbreaking as Rocket Plumbing says they are?
So let's break it down. Hydrojetting is essentially like a power wash for your pipes.
Okay.
But instead of cleaning your deck, it's blasting away years of, gunk and grease and, yes, even tree roots with highly pressurized water.
So imagine aiming a fire hose down your drain.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. We're talking 35,000 PSI of pressure. So enough to pulverize almost anything. And the good news is it's environmentally friendly. You're using water power instead of, harsh chemicals. Now, traditional snaking methods, those can be effective, but only for smaller clogs. So for those really stubborn blockages, hydrojetting really packs a punch.
Wow. That's incredible. And what about this Picote technology? Is that another type of pipe blasting weapon?
Not exactly. Think of it as more of a precise, minimally invasive approach.
What?
Picote technology uses these specialized tools that are almost like miniature chainsaws and brushes that are inserted into the pipe to kind of grind away blockages and repair damage from the inside out. So it's especially effective for, what do they call it? Trenchless repairs, which means less digging up your yard and messing up your landscaping.
Okay, so less digging is always a win in my book. But before they go all high-tech warrior on your pipes, didn't they mention something about a camera inspection?
Right. They always do a camera inspection first. Before they try anything else.
Okay, so it's like getting an x-ray of your pipes before the surgery.
Exactly. A thorough camera inspection it's really crucial because it lets them see the extent of the damage, identify the type of blockage, and figure out the best way to fix it.
So no more blindly hacking away at pipes and hoping for the best. Technology really is changing the game, huh?
It really is. And it's not just about the tools themselves. It's also about having the knowledge to use them effectively. Rocket Plumbing really emphasizes that they have a team of, and I quote, highly trained, experienced, and licensed field technicians.
Okay, so they've got the high-tech gear, they've got this expert team.
Yeah.
But the big question is, do they actually deliver? They keep mentioning 100% clearance. What does that even mean when you're talking about plumbing?
Yeah, 100% clearance. It's a bold claim, for sure. Basically, what they're saying is they don't do temporary fixes. They are confident that they can completely fix your plumbing issues. So, so you're not dealing with the same problem a couple weeks later.
Right.
They even highlight this Westward restaurant where they were able to clear a major blockage that other plumbers hadn't been able to deal with.
Sounds like they averted a real plumbing nightmare. But what about the less quantifiable aspects of the service? Like the customer experience, because they throw around phrases like friendly service and peace of mind a lot. But is that just marketing?
It's hard to say for sure without, hearing directly from customers.
Right.
But one thing they do emphasize is their commitment to providing long-term solutions instead of just quick fixes. So like they talk about educating customers about their plumbing systems and, helping them avoid problems in the future.
Right, right.
Which, that approach would definitely give you some peace of mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to like fix a leaky faucet, but it's another thing entirely to like give homeowners the knowledge they need so that faucet doesn't start leaking in the first place.
Well,
But okay, now let's talk about what everybody checks before they call a plumber. Customer testimonials.
oh,
Rocket Plumbing's website has a handful of reviews, some good, some maybe not as good.
it's always good to see a mix. Because anyone can just pick out the positive reviews and ignore the rest.
Oh, for sure.
Seeing a mix of good and bad reviews makes it feel more authentic.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they're not trying to hide anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Olga gives them a rave review. She praises their professionalism, their reasonable pricing. And then Renee, she raves about this guy, Chris, one of their technicians, for his responsiveness and customer service. She even mentions him by name, which I always think is a good sign.
Yeah, it does. It feels more personal, like they actually care. Renee also mentions that Chris's colleague, Mark, went above and beyond to fix some other plumbing issues while he was there. Nice.
Which, finding those little things that you didn't even know were problems, that's really great service.
Definitely above and beyond. And they do seem to have like a whole team. We've got Chris, we've got Mark, we've got Matthew, we've got Brian. It's like they're putting together like a plumbing all-star team.
Right.
But then there's always a but, right?
Right.
We have Kevin, who, while he was impressed with the service, thought it was a little pricey.
Right, and that's an important thing to remember. Plumbing services, especially the ones that use, specialized technology, those don't always come cheap. Because hydrojetting and Picote technology, those require specialized equipment, and they require a certain level of expertise to use.
Of course.
And all of that can definitely impact the price. Yeah. And I think this highlights how important transparency is when it comes to pricing. You've always got to get a clear quote up front. You've got to compare it with, what other plumbers are charging. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Speaking of pricing, Rocket Plumbing really seems to love a good discount. They're advertising $49 off any service and $150 off repiping, which are pretty tempting offers.
They are tempting, but as with any discount, you always have to read the fine print.
What kind of fine print are we talking about?
Well, for one thing, they do mention a $400 minimum service charge to qualify for the $49 discount.
Wow. Okay. So maybe not the best deal if you've just got a leaky faucet.
Right. Exactly. It does kind of suggest that maybe their pricing is structured to favor, those bigger, more complicated jobs where they can really, show off their fancy technology.
Interesting. Okay. So while those discounts might sound really good at first, it's important to remember that minimum service charge and really think about, what does the whole project actually involve?
Absolutely. You should always get a detailed quote up front, before you agree to anything. And then compare that with, a couple other reputable plumbers just to see how it compares and make sure you understand what's included, what's included in that price.
Transparency is so important,
yeah,
especially for something as important as plumbing.
Absolutely. So after diving deep into Rocket Plumbing, their